Hello, this is Irina K and welcome back to Astrobabushka. I'm a Vedic astrologer and I apply ancient 3000 years old knowledge to modern times. Today I want to talk about a sky event that looks small on the chart, but in reality it's like a seismic trigger for history. The solar eclipse in late September 2025 happened very close to Uranus station and retrograde. And that alone is enough to shake things up. But what caught my attention is how directly this touches Donald Trump's chart. And through him, the chart of the United States itself. Uranus is the planet of shock, revolution, rebellion, restructuring, and disruption. Whenever Uranus activates, nothing stays the same. And Trump's Uranus is only a few degrees away from United States Uranus, meaning in this drama, Trump and the fate of America are tied together very closely. Let's set the stage. What does Uranus symbolize? It can be sudden shocks, breakouts, revolutions, restructuring of systems. It can be electricity, finance, technology, governance. The wild card planet, Uranus breaks the script, throws a thunderbolt and says, no, you won't continue business as usual. In mythology, Uranus is the primordial sky god, overthrown by his own son, Saturn. His story is rebellion, overthrow, and radical renewal. So, when Uranus is strong in a nation's sky, we are not talking about small reforms. We're talking about systemic resets. Now, look at Donald Trump's chart. His sun is at 29-degree Taurus, his Rahu at 27-degree Taurus, and Uranus at 24-degree Taurus, all together in the 10th house of power, leadership, and public destiny. This is extraordinary. The 10th house is the throne, its visibility, authority, executive control. And here Uranus sits with Rahu and Sun. What does this mean? Sun means king, ego, leadership. Rahu, everything foreign, the outsider, the obsession, and the one who breaks taboos. Uranus means shock, rebellion, and revolution. Together, they make Trump the embodiment of disruptive leadership. He doesn't just hold power, he destabilizes, electrifies, and forces the system to respond. Whether you love him or hate him, Trump is Uranian chaos personified in the political stage. Now, here's where it gets uncanny. The United States itself has Uranus at 18-degree Taurus in its 6th house. The 6th house is conflict, service, labor, military, health, all the greedy aspects of a nation's machinery. And here's the timeline. Trump's Uranus at 24 degree is almost conjunct the United States Uranus at 18 degree. His sun, 29 degree Taurus, is shining right on America's revolutionary nerve. His Rahu at 27 degree is dragging the US Uranus into destiny's spotlight. So his personal Uranus is an ignition key for America's revolution. And the bigger picture, Uranus is slowly approaching its return in July 2028, meaning Uranus comes back to the exact spot it was in 1776 when the US was born. That's once every 84 years. That's the cycle of revolutions, of nation remaking themselves. And the last time the United States had its Uranus return was April 1945. Franklin Roosevelt, the longest-serving president, died in office. World War II was ending, with Germany surrendering just weeks later. The Manhattan Project was about to unleash nuclear weapons on the world, and the global order was being rewritten, the United Nations was founded, and the Bretton Woods financial system was being put in place. So, Uranus return are not small. They bring the death of one world and birth of another. And here's the twist. When Uranus returns for the United States in 2028, Pluto will be at 12-degree Capricorn sidereal, directly opposite China's ascendant. This is huge. Why? Because the ascendant of a nation is its very identity, how it sees itself, how the world perceives it, the role it wants to play. Pluto opposing it is like a cosmic trial by fire. Pluto in Capricorn represents the deep restructuring of empires, hierarchies, and global orders, and it's already happened for United States, the Pluto return. Opposed to China's ascendant, this signals external confrontation, the world pressuring China into transformation, actually. It can mean an identity crisis. China's image is a rising superpower being tested. It can be global confrontation, United States and allies resisting its projection of power. Something about secrets exposed, internal weaknesses dragged to the surface. And death rebirth cycle, something in China's system breaking before it can rebuild. So the United States or Uranus return is not happening in vacuum. It's synchronized with Pluto pressing directly against China's destiny. This points to a peak moment of USA versus China confrontation when the two superpowers' charts are both under revolutionary transformative stress. In short, the astrology says the battle for the next world order is written into 2028. Now, here's another fascinating layer. Uranus, the planet, and uranium, the metal, is used in nuclear power and weapons, are no coincidence. Every major Uranus cycle tends to bring nuclear shocks. Remember, the last US Uranus return in 1945 coincided with the birth of the atomic age. And look at what's already happening. Vladimir Putin recently announced that the nuclear pact coming to an end in February 2026, unless all parties recommit. That is no random timing, because on February 4th, 2026, Uranus will station direct at 3-degree Taurus, exactly on the fixed star Alcyone, the central star of the Pleiades, associated with collective fates and karmic reckoning. Just days later, on February 17th, 2026, we'll have a solar eclipse at 4-degree Aquarius in the nakshatra Dhanishta, ruled by Mars, with Mars exalted in Capricorn on that very day. Very strong. What does this mean? Uranus stationing on Alcyone can bring more nuclear headlines to the news. Technological shocks, revelation. Eclipse in Dhanishta with exalted Mars can escalate military weaponry conflict energy at maximum charge. This alignment screams of a period when nuclear agreements, weapons programs, and uranium itself will dominate the news. And because Uranus is tied to Trump and to America's revolutionary cycle, these nuclear developments won't just be global headlines. They will be directly tied into the drama of America's rebirth and Trump's destiny. Now bring it back to the September 2025 eclipse. The eclipse is happening near Uranus as it's stationed retrograde. When the planet stations, its power is magnified, concentrated, frozen in the sky, like lightning caught in a photograph. An eclipse is a reset, a portal, and here we have an eclipse. Right as Uranus prepares for the return, this means the United States is entering its revolutionary rebirth phase, and Trump, with his Uranus, Rahu, and Sun in Taurus, is the lightning rod. What does this mean mundanely? It suggests that Trump is not just a political figure, he is woven into America's karmic Uranian script. Economic shocks, very likely, Taurus rules money, currency, resources. Political rebellion, Uranus shakes the throne, the 10th house. Systemic overhaul, the 6th house of labor, health, and military. We could see Trump's presence intensify the Uranus return, making it not just financial or technological, but political, cultural, and deeply personal for the nation. In 1776, Uranus in Taurus was about breaking away from monarchy, declaring independence, reinventing government. In 1945, Uranus in Taurus was about ending World War, unleashing atomic power, and setting up a new global order. In 2028, Uranus and Taurus will return to the United States, while Pluto simultaneously opposes China's Ascendant. This is the clash of empires, the restructuring of the world order. Having those roots in 2025, kite formation of outer planets Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune. And then in September 2029, Donald Trump himself enters his personal Uranus return, meaning his natal Uranus comes full circle. That alignment suggests his destiny and America's destiny are deeply synchronized, both entering revolutionary rebirth phases within a year of each other. So here's the takeaway. Trump's chart and America's chart are locked together through Uranus. The eclipse and Uranus station in 2025 are the spark. The Uranus return in 2028 is the explosion. And Pluto's opposition to China's ascendant means this revolution is not just American, it is global. Whether this leads to collapse, rebirth, or both, that depends on how the collective handles the shock. But the astrology is clear, the system will be restructured. And it started now during kite of outer planets. This is why I say Trump is not just a man, he's a symbol of America's own Uranian revolution. And the next years will show us just how disruptive, how shocking, and how fated the revolution really is. I'm planning to make his inauguration prognosis year by year soon, so stay tuned. Thank you for watching. If you found this analysis valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And let me know in the comments, what do you think Uranus will bring to America's destiny? I'm offering free Uranus USA return reading for the first person to ask, and rest of you will have discount from this video, 50% off, which makes it only $30 to understand if there's any danger for you personally during these turbulent times. Take care and see you in next video. Bye.